Thanks for tuning in. Today, kind of wanted to do a beat breakdown of the record I just came out with SZA, SOS. If you guys haven't heard her new album, it is super duper fire. This particular record came to be, which is called Used. It kind of took like a journey, to be honest, like where it kind of started from and then where it grew to. Like this record is probably like 3 to 4 years old. Just from like iteration start to like end point, and it's kind of taken like a journey in the sense of like how it even came to be created. The original idea actually started from, I remember going through like sound packs from like, downloaded little sound loop making websites, whatever, and there's one little melody idea that was like sounded really dope that I was like, oh, this is really fire. But the melody was just like a loop. It wasn't like, I couldn't actually make something actually really cool out of it. So then I got on my guy John Hill, who is, if you don't know who he is, he's a credible producer. And he's worked with pretty much anybody and everybody. So me and John got together and I played him that idea, and he was like, yo, this is fire. So basically we took the melody and we took the sample and wrote new melodies around the sample. So this is what it sounds like as it's a jam. So yeah, so that's like basically the gist of the beats. So basically, like I just say you come to some of the sounds. So some of the sounds are I usually play around with the mellotron. Mellotron is always a really cool sound instrument for like when you're doing jam sessions. Just because like the mellotron has it's a really good tool for like kind of getting authentic sound from like a sample, it sounds like a sample, but it sounds like it's a real sound. Like it's really cool. It has a lot of dope string instruments, dope keys instruments, dope sampled synth sounds. Some has like vocal sounds, whatever. You can I have the real one, but you can also use like the mellotron V, which somebody wrote on the chat. Yeah, that's a great instrument that you guys use. So like on production. So you got the mellotron, the OB6. I used the OB6 as the initial sound. The OB6 is a Dahi Synth instrument. It's pretty well known, but the OB6 is a really dope synth to use. The Prophet 6, yeah, I love the Prophet 6. I have that. I have the rack mount version of that, which is basically like you just basically plug it into a MIDI keyboard and it's super fire. But you can also use the Prophet 6 on Arturia has the Prophet 6 sound. The grandmother I used is a Moog synthesizer. That one is, quote unquote, like one of the best, I think, Moog synths that came out. It's very similar to like a lot of really dope lead lines, a lot of really dope bass line sounds, and it really feels like analog. And you can play it like if you get the right person to play the lead lines on that synth and just kind of like twerk and move sounds on it, pretty fucking fire. So and then we had guitar, Danny playing guitar. So we had Danny play guitar straight into my pedal board. And my pedal board, I have I think I may have used like my Eventide H9. I may have used the Mobius by Strymon, which is a really dope pedal. And then I think that was the main source of sounds that we used for the for that particular initial synth sound. And then I did another track where I had used a delay track basically. So I had a delay track that with this initial guitar sound, so you guys can hear it. So that was an initial track, and then I had another track where I used Portal, which is super. I just love Portal. Portal's like, if you guys don't know that's made by Output, and Output has some really dope plugins. Portal is one of their like delay plugins that I use when I just want to get some like really cool sound design, textures and sound that I get. So this one just kind of had a really dope kind of back sound to the beat, kind of hitting these like reflection sounds over top of like the initial sound with the guitar. Yeah. And then I think the last sound was this one. This one is SVT. What's this one? Oh, bass. So then I just had a dry bass sound. So this bass sound is just flat string basses. I love flat string basses. Flat string basses are like they just got a tone to them that just like makes it sound old school, but like got pocket and got rhythm, and so it's just one of my basses. I think that one we was going straight into. I don't think we added any sounds to that, but the bass itself, and that was played by my boy Danny. The other sound is, which one is this one? Is it Contact? Okay, so this is, I don't know what sound it's actually, I'm trying to remember what it is, but I think it was either some key. Oh, you know what it was? I was now that I remember, I was using like a retro piano Contact libraries, something keys. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, retro keys?
Not retro. It wasn't retro keys. It was basically it was like any retro key synth sound was like what I did. It wasn't 40 keys. Somebody wrote 40 keys. Wasn't Keyscape. Anyway. Oh, and then the drum beat I made from. Let's see, I'll just play the drums. No, that's not it. Well, it's a process of making drums. I have a very weird process of doing drums sometimes. A lot of these initial sounds came from this one's called, if you guys don't know, this one's pretty dope drum bank. If you guys want to find like retro sounding drums, I'd say use UVI Falcon, and then the drums pack is called Beat Anthology, and really dope program for finding like retro sounding drums. They have like I like to say if you don't have like the classic drum machine sounds, you can really find some really dope sound banks in here. They have array of like just really dope retro classic drum machine sounds that it's really good sounding. And if you can't afford to buy an Ace T, or if you can't afford to buy an SMS, or you can't afford to buy mini pop drum machines, the classic 808 machine, 909, they have like really fire drum sounds that you basically can like make songs out of. And it's I initially used like a drum pack from there. I programmed the drums myself and kind of made something out of it a little bit differently, but for the most part I got my drum sounds from here. And I'd say like I recommend, if you're looking for like retro sounding drum sounds, this is like a perfect down bank to go through to try to find some shit. So somebody asked about the arrangement of the record. So basically I didn't really have to arrange that much in the song. Because initially when I did the song, sometimes what I do is I take parts of a record and I usually will kind of basically arrange them into different sections. So for this one, I basically took the parts of this. I think we jammed out on the song for like, I think it's only 6 minutes actually, but I took like it was like a section in the song like for like basically like a minute and a half that I was like, oh, this feels like the best take of what the song is. And we just and that's the good thing about I'd say like recording and just recording shit and just recording basically the whole process, and then you can go through and edit parts and be like, oh, this is dope, let's rearrange this part, let's rearrange that part, let's do that. Because sometimes you just find moments in the way somebody plays something, basically like that's where the magic is, you know what I'm saying? Like I think to me what makes a great producer is like someone who can listen to a record and literally cut the fat and be able to be like, okay, that's the moment, and or know that I need to take stuff out, I don't need to put so much shit in. Like it's just like just being able to recognize like where the magic is.